So the Zeri Lulu, I think, lane-wise is a lot stronger, right? You really get to bully, really, regardless of what Guma ends up locking in. The benefit of this is that the Xayah will have a lot more agency into the Akali, and you are also able to deal with the Ornn a little bit better, which I do think is nice. And Xayah Khan is obviously still a strong combo. This carrier, or Guma, I want to say it's probably going to be the Jhin with the type of setup that they have here. And looking at these two compositions,
I think that it is extremely one-sided.
Yeah, well, when it comes to power, when it comes to cohesiveness, you go to Nongshim, right? Like the top side is insane. You have great engage. You have good kiteback potential as well. For me, the main issue with T1 is that the comp feels a little bit disjointed. That core of the Pantheon and Akali, I think they go well together. They're decent with the Alistar as well. But then the Ornn makes sense in the matchup. I think the Ornn also will always provide a lot of utility. But one of the things I really like about Jhin and Ornn is that you can...
I think he's going to be able to do it again here. Let's jump into the Rift. Game number 1. All right, I think that is enough of my explanation as to why I think T1's going to win, because I actually don't think they will in this game. I think that this draft is too good for Nongshim. Have to bring it down to earth once more, Chronicler. Because I think these players are really good, and this draft edge is absurd.
Oh, my God.
Okay, they just walk past one another. That's a bit cute.
Yeah, so Lands, I think, tried to sneak it.
Oh no, he's been baited. Will get knocked up, has to flash. Double flashes to follow Permafrost. There's first blood going over to Jiu. And I hadn't factored that in when I said that I thought the draft looked good.
Totally kind of shrinks again.
Yep. Oh, here's the on-horn. Everyone's flashing in, and Ona just going to put a stick into the little Yordle. Takes down the Rumble here. I would have said first blood, but it wasn't. That one had happened already. But still, first real kill after the laning phase started.
Going to be having a decent amount of gold here. Only sitting on a Vamp Scepter for now, so we'll see. The one-item spike for Nongshim is obviously amazing. And when it comes to Owner, Faker, and Guma, it's kind of similar, right? Like, that is one of the interesting things when evaluating these compositions.
-1, by the way.
Oh. That's fine.
Yeah, Doran was doing so well, and now he's behind.
Relative to cannons.
The amount of cannons, exactly.
Which
very
some would argue is the most important stat in League of Legends. Oh, that's
right,
W used.
Yeah, Gideon looking for the angle here, and he should be able to find it. There's the Permafrost, there's the ulti, and holding people in place is something that Sejuani is pretty good at. No flash available. The equalizer was probably unnecessary, but it looked very, very cool. And so that is going to be the return kill, some revenge here for Kingen.
I think the read there from Nongshim was that if we don't use the equalizer, Kingen can TP. Oh my God!
He's flashing for it. They find the knockup on a carrier as well. As he cleanses, he's just ignoring Ona, who will be able to protect his cow. And there's the Deadly Flourish to stop the Hens from going any further forward. That is 3 summoner spells, though, invested by Nongshim just to push them away.
So not being able to displace yourself is definitely a big sacrifice to be made. But yeah, so going back to that bot side play.
Ona can't. Oh, he can flash, so because he didn't have to use it last time. As over the wall goes Calix. I'm not sure about this one because he's now getting closed in on. There's the Ram, but he flashes away. Now Faker looking for an angle onto Gideon, who has to flash. As there's the Grand Starfall, everyone piling in as we have zoomed out so far. I didn't even know this was possible. It's absolutely insane. Down goes the jungler. Calix now in trouble, but he's able to dash his way out. And it is just 1 kill, but man, that zoom was amazing.
Truly, technology in League of Legends.
That was the greatest zoom of all time.
Hyper. Never ever heard you say stuff like that.
It was really
It was a really long zoom.
It was like we had 2 full
So I was mostly looking to the top part of the zoom, which was unfortunately for Calix, as you highlighted, not the cleanest play. Yeah, never gonna get out of that. Like, does a decent job of sidestepping, but there's just way too much damage.
In the meantime, Nongshim get themselves the first dragons. So there's at least that.
But right there, we see the value of how much long range T1 have when it comes to catching people, right? Because Akali obviously needs to be in melee form, as does Owner. But you have on one give the Ornhorn being used, because there is an equalizer.
Yeah, these harpoons are really connecting now for King, and actually some fancy footwork by the Rumble. So winning out on that particular trade, and has moved into a gold advantage off the back end of that players. Yeah, Calix is going to try and unbind the soul as best he can. Great knock-up as the ulti comes through as well. Calix actually managing to do pretty well in the fight, but still, Faker with the perfect execution is going to be able to take him down, and Gideon not able to offer enough support. So the woes for this mid laner continue.
Even though a lot of the characters are melee, you do have a lot of effective range. As Doran.
Doran, I don't know. Okay, it's going to be a 2v2. They get the knock-up bouncy castle here for Kingen, but the equalizer was doing so much work. The flash comes down, and Calix just picks up the kill, and somehow Kingen limps away.
Jokes about Ornn aside, the damage isn't quite there. I guess he's only been training the tank part, not the mage and warlock.
They did nerf the mage, warlock, assassin, fighter, warrior.
Yeah, they have. They really have many times. So I don't want to put this on Doran. I think it's gotta be careful. Now I'm like, okay, let's have a topic about observing, and then before you know it, we're talking about movies, Atlas.
Yeah,
I want to stay locked in.
Yeah, we need to.
Because it matters a lot. Even a single game win, again, can be the difference maker for Nongshim.
Yep, means everything for Nongshim, ladies and gentlemen. This is the biggest part. And DK and KT. But like, as far as the teams that are in this game, certainly means a whole lot more for Nongshim. As the equalizer goes down, doesn't manage to get the cannon, I'm pretty sure. That was a bit sad. Finished off by the turret.
T1 is kind of just playing for vibes.
They are kind of playing, but the vibes are really important. Because after this match, they head off to Road to MSI, looking to win a best of 5 against maybe even this team.
Could happen.
And so picking up a victory here, going to be a big deal. Of course, starting off on the red side, a little bit rough here for T1. They have benefited a lot from the first pick ability. And Nongshim being able to utilize that one here.
Oh, there's the collapse.
That's a big old knock-up as Carrier is coming in. They're looking for an angle, and they want to get both of them. There is the ulti to come out. The ult comes through as well from Calix, who looks to unbind the soul, and he's just dead. Last hit by the Shuriken. That is deadly. And now the Rift Herald is just going to pop down for fun and not do a whole lot.
Yeah, so Gideon tried to take the... He missed the bus. He tried to take the Rift Herald exit.
Yeah.
You know, just summon it. If he did it earlier, he actually would have
He might have been able to get the mid.
No, he would have... Like, he could have left easily. Actually, in hindsight, I think he realized it too late. I'm pretty sure it happened to T1 at some point as well. They're one of the other teams that really like those poke-style combos.
Whoa, there's a flash over the grand entrance. Headbutt is going to go towards Faker. There's now Jiu getting stunned up. And has to go into that Featherstorm pretty early on. Permafrost goes down. Jiu's trying to kite as best he can. As the perfect execution, max range from Faker is going to lock down the kill. He does die, but Calix is also now in trouble as he does have to snap back. That is still Gideon picking up the kill there as the equalizer in fantastic position. And Lahens is just dancing around this fight like a ballerina. What? And the harpoon just one-shots the Jhin. Is Rumble a better AD carry than Jhin? What the heck was that, King? As that's an ace for Nongshim. That's a 5-for-1. Okay. I saw the start of that fight. I saw
and Rumble is just cooking the entire. What?
Well, they're cooking steak, I guess. That's what they're having today. As now Owner is also in a whole lot of trouble. Faker dancing around this fight, though. He's got that perfect execution. Great knock-up to come through from Doran. As now Gideon will get taken down. Faker able to get out this time as the curtains have been called. But it's curtains for Doran before too long. And now an equalizer going to block off both Owner and Faker and otherwise not do anything at all. So Gideon does go down. 2-for-1 trade at the minute as that Shuriken backflip kind of gorgeous there for Faker. But he's not going to go too far in. Man, I've seen Lee Sins make that play.
Oh, you know he wanted to. That finger was hovering.
Oh,
Atlas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This game is turning very quickly into MAME. Guma positioned his ult a little bit.
He's certainly locking in now.
You know what that is?
Shaking the sillies out.
That's Challenger stage.
It absolutely
As
is.
Nongshim, they're pulling trade. Look, these ults are not available for T1. And without their ults, I don't know if they can contest this.
Doran does have his. You can see Gumayushi's still a long way away without his ultimate. Remember, he has 0 range from a deadly flourish. Let's see whether Owner can get in there and take this one down. The ultimate from Calix says absolutely not as the ram comes in, and they take down Lehens. Chiu trying his very best to kite as Faker gets himself all the way back to his shroud and isn't going to be able to offer any more damage. And a Lehens for an Otacon. Nongshim would
the follow-up is there. But right here, T1 really wants to try and extend this play with the Otacon debuff still there. But it's the recall and straight into another fight, Atlas.
Yes, this is what we'd be doing. Get out, get straight back in again. As Lehens is going to interrupt Faker, and Chiu's going to take him down now. An equalizer on top of Gumayushi. And there is no one to defend him. Down goes both of the damage dealers. T1 have no way out. They are just cooked. This dragon is now going to be taken. That is a clean ace, an objective steal, and whatever the heck else Nongshim want to get.
I thought the 1 for 5 was the best deal they were going to get.
There's always a better deal, Chronicler.
You can't do that right now.
Well, Lehens is going to knock up Carrier, and Carrier's going to have to ult, but the CC is still raining down. Thankfully, Aftershock is going to be there. So with the ultimate and Aftershock, Carrier will be able to get out with at least a bit more than half of his health bar. Nongshim now, though, just full control. And Gio able to push up, and they will make it so dark on this top side of the map. Baron up and available. There's Brambleback going to be consumed by Gideon and the entire team as Lehens still looking for more and more angles. Doran tries his hand at face checking. And T1 need to do this because they need to try and get vision on this Baron because we mentioned Nongshim, they have damage. They destroy Baron. They've got a Rumble and a Zaya. So if they look at this...
Yone.
Yeah, and a Yone. This time around, though, they're going to look for the pick on towards this,
he's real
this King. And yeah, he's really dead. They're going to be able to take that one. Calyx over this wall, though, and we'll see whether T1 can get here in time. 1,000 gold. He doesn't flash in early enough, and the Baron is secured. There's a Glacial Prison as well, as Gideon just trying to get himself out of there. Nongshim wanting to protect the Barons, and Ona is in so much trouble. They dive on top of Faker. He's knocked up forever, and they still don't have damage, ladies and gentlemen. Gumayushi gonna have to be chased out of this one, and we'll see whether he's gonna survive. The permafrost is in range, and it in fact just last hits him. They will trade their walking barbecue for a Baron and then just kill them anyway.
That's a fourth amazing deal for Nongshim. They just keep stringing these together.
It's extraordinary.
Lehens for Otacon, great deal. 1 for 5, wonderful. 5 for 0. You got to go for the Hail Mary fight after Nongshim just taken down Nash, but this first game is looking like the T1 draft not working out, but there is a good amount of power picks that I am worried that have already been taken away, right? Gumayushi's Jhin, I think, has been by far his best champion. That already off the table, and him not having the best performance on it, not a great sign.
Yep. And also being able to pick Rakan in a game 1 and not having it get punished by things like Poppy and the Talia is kind of huge as well. So Lehens getting a lot of advantages out of that. Speaking of which, he goes in, doesn't quite find Guma, and he's likely going to get popped. Does try and battle dance his way out, and in fact he does. Into the backline goes Faker, but they just see him and destroy him. The ulti from Calyx as well collects the rest of them, and Nongshim are just playing with their food at this point. It's a triple kill for Jiu. They just need to wait for the Conga line of minions, and the Noodle Boys will do it here in game 1 against T1. We're going to have to see some better champions picked from our third place team here in the LCK if they want to be able to reign supreme against Nongshim. And you best believe DK and KT are